Hello, my little mathematicians. Today I'm going to refresh your memories on how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide with decimals. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, when there's no workspace, remember you always want to show your work on a separate sheet of paper, always label it, and number or letter each problem. So the first one is W, which says 7.2 plus 16.6 plus 8.45. Now, when you're adding decimals, you want to line them up. Meaning, here's my decimal. I'm going to put the next decimal right beneath it. So that's 16.6. Okay. Here I'm going to line up my decimal. So the 4 is in the tens place, the 5 is in the hundredths place, and I'm going to put placement holders there in the other hundredths place so that you know everything's lined up. And the 8 was in the ones place with those guys. Okay, and now you just add down like normal. So you get 5, 8 plus 4 is 12. And then 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 plus 8 is 22. And then 2 plus 1 makes 3. And then don't forget to always bring that decimal straight down in your answer. Okay, so that first one is 32.25. The next one, H, same thing when you're adding or subtracting, you want to line up your decimals. Whatever comes first goes on top, or the bigger whole number goes on top. And 32 is bigger than 9, so it goes on top. And don't forget, line up your decimal. And then since there's nothing in the thousands place here, let's just put a 0 placement holder. And now you're going to subtract like normal. 7 minus 0 is 7. You can't take 9 from 6. You've got to go next door and borrow. And since there wasn't anything there, I got to go next door again, and I'm going to borrow there from the, that becomes a 1. Now I can add 10 to the 6, so you get 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. 9 minus 2 is also 7. And then you have 9 minus 1, which you can't do. So I need to borrow from the 3, which is a 2. And 11 minus 9 is 2. Bring down that 2. You get 22.777. Okay. So let's go ahead and box that. My next one is I'm going to go down this column right here. Okay, so I just did H. Now I'm going to do P because I haven't done a multiplying. So P says 57.5 times 0.009. Now, when you're multiplying, you put the one with the most number of digits on top. So this has 3 digits and this has 3 digits as well. So it doesn't really matter which one you put on top. So I'm just going to do this one and then this one on the bottom. Now, when you're multiplying with decimals, ignore the decimals for right now. Okay, you're just going to multiply like normal. So you have 5 times 9 is 45. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 4 is 67. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 6, you get 51. And then that's all used up. So now I'm going on to the next one, and that's in the tens place. So I need to put a 0 placement holder. Now I start here. Well, 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0, and 0 times 5 is 0. That was nice and easy. Then you would move on to the next number, and since it's in the hundredths place, you need 2 0 placement holders to start in the hundredths, and then you would start multiplying this one times this one times this one. But since they're all zeros, 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0, and 0 times 5 is 0. Okay, but if they were numbers, like normal numbers right here, that's what you would do, okay? You would put 1 0 placement holder and then start multiplying this times this, and then this times this, and then this times this. Then you would move on to this number, and you would put 2 0 placement holders to start off in the hundredths place, and then do this times this, and this times this, and this times this. And then you would just add down, okay, you get 5, 7, 1, 5. And then now I focus on the decimals. And however many numbers are after the decimal up here, that's how many you have in your answer. So there's 1 number after the decimal there, 3 numbers after the decimal there, for a total of 4 numbers after the decimal in my answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And if there wasn't enough, I'd put a 0 placement holder, but I'm good. That's my answer. Okay, E, let's go ahead and see here. It's another subtracting, and it looks simple enough, but you're like, there's no decimal here. Okay, when there's no decimal present, think of it like $90. I'm too lazy to put 0.00, but it's implied that the decimal is after the number, like that, right? Okay, because again, just like when you write $90, you write it like that. There's a decimal after the number, not before it. Okay. So I have 90.0. So line up my decimal, and you're going to subtract 26.14. So let's put another zero placement holder there. Okay. Now you can't take 4 from 0, so I got to borrow. Since there wasn't really anything there, I got to borrow again. And there wasn't really anything there, so I got to borrow again. Now I can add 10. So 10 minus, we'll add 10 to the 0. That's why 10 plus 0 is 10. Okay. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 1 is 8. Bring down that decimal. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 8 minus 2 is 6. All done. Okay. Last one. Let's look. G. G is 4 into 3.8. When you're dividing with decimals, is that if there's anything out in the divisor, you would move it to get rid of the decimal. And however many times you move it here, you'd have to move it inside the house in the dividend as well. But since there was no decimals here, I just let it be. I'm going to bring my decimal straight up in the answer, and now I forget about it and I just divide like normal. 4 can't go into 3, but it can go into 38. How many times? 9 times. So that's 36, which when you subtract, you get 2. I can technically just bring down to 0 right now because 3.8 is the same as 3.80, right? So now I can bring down to 0, and then 4 can go into 20 5 times. And that went in evenly. So my final answer is 0.95 for that one. Okay. I want to skip ahead to V just to show you something down in that bottom section. Okay, it said 0.09 into 1.863. Since there's 2 decimals here in my divisor, I want to move it twice to get rid of it. So then I need to move it once, twice here. Okay, and then I would just rewrite it so it's not so confusing. So now this is just 9, and now you have 186.3. That's where your decimal is. So I'm going to bring my decimal straight up, and then you just divide like normal. 9 can't go into 1, but it can go into 18 twice, and keep going. The other thing I want to show you is B. When you have 2.6 over 0.16, whatever comes first or whatever's on top, that's what goes inside the house. And then whatever is on the bottom or comes second, that's outside the house. Now you can't divide by decimal, so move it once, twice, which means I need to move it once, twice there as well. So you need a 0 placement holder. Now you have 16 into 260, okay? And you're going to do your long division like normal. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. Now how to write our answers. Okay, on my document for W, we got 32.25. E, we got, let's see, E was here, 63.86. H, we said was 22.777. P was 0.5175. G was 0.95. And those are all the ones we finished together. Okay. Everything in this section, the answers are going to be here. Everything in this section, the answers are going to be here. And if you can't find those answers, we did something wrong. So 32.25, I see that right here. Okay, so when I see the double star, I'm going to put a W. Do you see the double star anywhere up above? I see it right here. And if you see it more than once, then you just put another W, like right there. Okay, and then 22.777, double percent signs, I'm going to put an H. So I see double percent signs where? Right there. Okay, so I'm going to put an H. And then 0.5175, that's double dollar signs. So double dollar signs go with the P. Okay, and again, if you saw another double dollar signs, then you put another P. Okay, and then that's how you fill up the top part. Okay. All right, my little mathematicians, you got this. You're going to do fantastic.